Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 4 tips for tomorrow's horse racing action. Now before we get into that, quickly just want to apologise for being away the last couple of days here on my YouTube channel. I did explain in my last video that there wouldn't be a video for Sunday's racing, and also as well last night unfortunately I just didn't have the time to record, so that's why there wasn't a video on here today. I did make it clear though on my Twitter feed that I wouldn't be recording, so if you want to know why I'm not recording, or you're wondering why you haven't seen any activity on here for a while, make sure you follow me on Twitter, because I always give updates to my followers on there. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is @LuckyLoader15, and that's the only place you can follow me on social media. So let's get stuck into it then. Like I said at the top of the video, 4 tips for tomorrow's racing, and we're going to be going to Sedgefield for the first one of them tomorrow for a bit of jumps action in the 135, and this is where my Longshot is going to be coming in here. Now this horse isn't the biggest price in the world, but I think he's got a good chance at a nice each way price, and that is my Renaissance for Jonathan and Sam England. At the current time of recording, was available at 15-2 with SkyBet, who are offering 4 places on this race, and I'm going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection here. Now the thing about this horse tomorrow is that he's now down to his last winning mark. He's now down to a mark of 86, which I think is very workable for him. And also what's going to be interesting tomorrow is the reapplying headgear, which seems to bring out the best of him. Also as well, he comes here off a little bit of a break, and last time he won, when he was down to this winning mark, he came in a little bit fresh after he had a bit of time away. So I think that will suit him tomorrow, and he absolutely loves the place. He's won here over the course and distance in the past 4 times, so it's definitely his favourite venue, and I think there's a lot in his favour tomorrow for a big run. Not my most original selection as a long shot, but I think he's got solid credentials, and he's going to be my first tip of the day. We then head to Beverley for the 3:15, where I'm going to be going with my nap here with a horse called Poet's Dawn for Ella McCain, claiming 5, and she's riding for her boss Tim Easterby. Now Tim Easterby's horses have been in pretty decent form of late. I know he has a lot of runners, but if you actually look at his overall strike rate, considering he has a lot of runners, they're actually going along quite nicely. And this horse, Poet's Dawn, was a winner over the course and distance last time out, where it was a pretty comfortable success, made all from the front, and was a tough nut to pass, and in the end won quite easily. Also as well, Ellen McCain keeps the partnership. She won on this horse last time out, so it's good that she's got a relationship with this horse. And this horse as well, he seems to run some of his best races at Beverley, placed a couple of times there last season. He would probably need to go in again to defy a career best here, but I think he's got a really good chance in my opinion, and especially as well the way the race might pan out tomorrow. Got not a bad draw to work with, still 4, you don't want to be too wide, that's not a bad draw, and if Ella McCain can get to the front early on and dictate things, I think she might be able to stay there. There's a lack of pace in this race. You got Kevin Ryan's horse that might sit and track, but a lot of the other horses like to come off a strong pace, and I don't think they're going to get that tomorrow. If Ellen McCain can judge the sectionals to perfection like she did last time, I think she'll have enough in the tank, and I think she'll get the job done. And I think at 7-2, that is a more than fair price there. I think she could go a favourite as we get closer to post time tomorrow. Quite sweet on this horse's chances, so that's why I'm putting him up as my nap of the day in the 3:15 to Beverley. We then stay at Beverley for an extra tip of the day, where I'm going here with a horse called Alnajeeb, currently available at 9-4 with bookmakers, and Mark Johnston trains this horse, and Dane O'Neill is booked for the ride in the colours of Shadwell Racing. Now this horse is going to be making his handicap debut tomorrow off a mark of 67, but I think Connections have found a really good starting point. And if you actually look at this horse so far, yes, he hasn't shown too much, but I think the further he goes up in trip, the better. This is over a 1.5 miles, and we saw him in a funny race last time at Pontefract, won by Trawlerman, who won at a canter that day very, very impressively, but that was on really quick ground. And despite Trawlerman letting the form down at Sandown on his next start, if you actually look in behind, the 2nd and 4th place horses that were also from the Mark Johnson yards have come out and won. This is definitely calmer waters, you would think, for this horse, and he's bred to go on to bigger and better things. By Sea the Stars, who's a lovely sire to follow. Obviously was a great horse himself for John Ox all those years ago, but has done really well for himself as a sire. And also as well, this horse is a half-brother to Vivid Diamond, who was a listed winner for Mark Johnston at Chester a couple of years ago and wasn't a bad filly herself. So a nice pedigree, and also as well that he cost 500 guineas as a yearling. So clearly things have been expected of this horse. Maybe hasn't come to plan yet, but he could be one of these types of Mark Johnston horses that just improve through the handicaps in the season. And I think off a mark of 67, they've found a workable race here. He's drawn in stall 1. I like Dane to be handy tomorrow. Dane actually gave us a nice winning nap a few weeks ago at Beverley when he made all from the front in these colours for Mark Johnston. So I'm hoping that's the way he'll be ridden tomorrow. And I think if he is up to what he's shown so far, he could be nicely in here off a mark of 67. We then go to Ayr for the evening meeting there, where we're going with my next best. And this horse is going to be a horse called Hong Kong Harry. Again, not one of my more original selections for Paul Hannigan and Richard Fahey, but I thought this horse would just take all the beating. Has actually done really well so far in his career, 3 wins from 4 starts. Now, last time it was his seasonal reappearance, where he pulled really hard early on in a small field, but did very well, I thought, to eventually win that race. The handicap rated him £2 for beating Be Proud, who was chasing him down at the end, but I think Hong Kong Harry was always a little bit snug in that victory, you know. So I think he's better than the mark of 81. I think he could be a 90 rated horse in time, and he's definitely one to keep on side. Richard Fahey is also looking for that 300 winner mark, and I think maybe this horse could give it to him tomorrow if he hasn't got it already. But I just think there's a lot in this horse's favour tomorrow. Also as well, what I should mention is the bigger field might help him tomorrow. There's a few in here that like to get on with things, and if it can just help settle him, I think that will even play more to his strength. So I think he's got a really good chance of going in again tomorrow. He was available at 7-4 at the current time recording. Going to recommend a 1-point win bet with him, and I think he'll give us a winner at Ayr. So there are the 4 tips for tomorrow's racing. If you're still enjoying these videos, remember to subscribe here to my YouTube channel at LuckyLoaders15. If you're liking them as well, please remember to give us the thumbs up button. Follow me on social media on Twitter, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. And if you want to find out a little bit more about myself, my website address is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners for you tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.